Boom! What's up, you guys? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to give you 3 reasons that lead me to believe Bitcoin will be sitting above $50,000 by January 1st, 2024. We'll quickly go over what those 3 reasons are and then dive into each one individually. First, as you can see in front of us, is something that I'm assuming most of you are aware of. That's the Bitcoin halving. Okay, so I think I'll record a video at some point in the future doing a deep dive on what the Bitcoin halving is. But today we're just going to quickly go over it and go over just a few reasons that this is important. Okay, so second, we have the Bitcoin ETF. A lot of talk on the street about the Bitcoin ETF. It's finally coming to fruition. This has been in talks for years, and things are looking pretty good for the bulls when it comes to the Bitcoin ETF. If BlackRock is involved in anything, it's probably on the right path. Okay. And then lastly, wouldn't be a Waves Capital video if we didn't dive into the charts and talk some technicals. We'll take a look at TradingView, and I want to talk to you guys just to make this a little fun for the shorter term, what my short, medium, and longer term time horizons and kind of price action scenarios are for Bitcoin, and what we would need to see on each of those timescales in order to achieve my January 1st, 2024 target of, as you can see here, about $51,000. So that will be elaborated later. Before we dive into the Bitcoin halving, if you guys didn't know, I do discuss Bitcoin literally every day in my daily newsletter, along with every other play we pretty much have talked about here on the channel, or any play I'm excited about in the markets. Render, Riot, AI, Pagaya, some of my favorite stocks, equities, cryptos, I talk about every day in my newsletter. Here's an example of the past week or so of newsletters that I send out every single trading day, of course, to your email, and then upload them here to Teachable as well. Okay, so those are examples, of course, with my daily newsletters. You also receive a complete breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, which includes, of course, the Trade Alert newsletter, which comes before my Price Targets newsletter every day, 2 a day, which explains the trades I've made that day. And of course, I rationalize there as well. Just talk about my thoughts on the market and share some charts with you guys every day. So if you want to join Waves Capital, you want to join the winning team, you can choose from each of these pricing plans. I recommend, as always, that you try the free 7-day trial. Decide whether you like it or not. The reason I do it is because I assume you're going to like it, and I'm really confident in the product that I provide. So give it a free shot for 7 days. If you don't like it, just peace out. But I trust that you guys will be sticking around. And once again, if so, welcome to Waves Cap. Welcome to the winning team. If you guys, of course, are members of Waves Capital already, please share your experience in the comments. It would really mean a lot for prospective members and for myself as well. Be truthful, be straight. All right. Bitcoin halving, how it works and why it matters. Again, do a deep dive on this in a future video. But for now, why does the Bitcoin halving occur? Bitcoin halvings occur as part of the protocol's design and is a key mechanism to control the supply of new Bitcoin entering circulation. The primary reasons for Bitcoin's halving are: 1, scarcity and controlled supply; 2, inflation control. And of course, you guys can pause this right here and read through the subtext if you'd like. But again, keeping it brief here today. 3, market forces and economics; and 4, price impact. All right, why does the Bitcoin halving matter? Again, feel free to pause here. I'll scroll down kind of slowly for you guys who want to do so. Bitcoin halving history and dates. Okay, so quickly, I want to stop here on the Bitcoin halving history. All right. You can see here 2012 halving, 2016 halving, 2020 halving. We have new BTC price. We have the pre-halving price, or pre-halving reward, and then post-halving reward, and then the price on halving day, and then the price 150 days later. So the next halving, as we'll cover below, is scheduled to occur, I'll just spoil it right here, in April of next year, in April of 2024. Okay, so they show the price 150 days later. In every single scenario, it's higher, sometimes significantly higher. But because more people are educating themselves about Bitcoin, more people are aware of this halving event, and they're becoming exponentially more people aware of the halving event as we progress and as Bitcoin scales as an asset. So I think that this halving event will be priced in significantly sooner than prior halving events for that exact reason. Again, a lot of people jumping the gun. A lot of people see it coming this may be a buy the hype, sell the news type event. And if it is, that's even better news for our 2024, January 2024, I guess, price target. Okay. So again, you guys, maybe it's not January 1st. That's for the title and purpose of this video. But I do think that we will see 50K isn't a new all-time high, but I do think a new all-time high is definitely possible prior to that halving event. Because once again, just the more people who know about it, the more it's going to become priced in prior to that event actually occurring. Okay. So lastly, when is the next Bitcoin halving event? Excuse me guys, it's early. Nearly 89% of the total 21 million Bitcoin that can ever exist have already been mined and are in circulation. Over 19 million BTC, approximately 900 new Bitcoin are mined and added to the digital supply daily. As Bitcoin halvings continue, the rate of new Bitcoin supply will gradually decrease until all 21 million BTC have been mined. When the final fraction of Bitcoin expected to be mined by the year 2140. While the exact date for the next halving is unknown, it will occur after mining the 100,000th block since the last, I don't even know how to say that, honestly. I was thinking about it, struggling. Since the new Bitcoin are mined approximately every 10 minutes, the next halving is projected to occur around April of 2024, reducing the mining reward for each block to 3.125 BTC. As mining rewards are lowered, miners will need to adjust to the shifting dynamics of the Bitcoin mining environment as they face more competition for smaller rewards. Okay, so again, that was a really good summary of kind of the overall Bitcoin halving event in a nutshell. It's a great conclusion from the author here at CoinDesk. But again, April 2024 is the next halving event. It's the more scarce something, because this is supply and demand economics 101. The more scarce an asset becomes, the more demand there is going to be for it. That's not necessarily always true, of course, but for an asset that's proven itself and its scale pretty much reached escape velocity like Bitcoin, the more scarce this becomes, the more provably scarce this becomes. That's the beauty of Bitcoin and the beauty of the technology embedded into the Bitcoin network. It will become more valuable, okay? So Bitcoin halving, number one. Number two is, again, the Bitcoin ETF. We'll only read a couple of paragraphs here, okay? 3 paragraphs I've highlighted. Again, you guys can always just Google these articles for yourself. See, this is CNBC Pro, so I guess you need Pro. Just Google this, CNBC it, and you can read the whole thing if you like. But keeping it brief, the setup for the next Bitcoin bull run has become even clearer after last week's landmark ruling in Grayscale's suit against the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, good old SEC, delivered what Bernstein calls a game changer for asset managers. This time, however, it will be led by institutions rather than retail investors, which helps explain why crypto prices remain stagnant despite having several positive catalysts in recent weeks. Excuse me. Thus, this is a quote, okay? Thus, we believe the crypto industry will get its first Bitcoin ETF between mid-October and mid-March of 2024. What falls right between October and March of 2024? January. I just concluded that as I mean, that's obvious, but I just thought about that as I read it. It just fits perfectly into the narrative of this video. Shugani said, adding that it probably won't stop there and could open up a, quote, massive commercial opportunity for asset managers to generate fees at healthy rates, 50 to 70 basis points for a growing asset class. Okay, so the big thing here, you guys, the more exposure, or a Bitcoin ETF, the primary reason this becomes a very positive price catalyst for Bitcoin is because a Bitcoin ETF would allow Bitcoin exposure to pension funds, to large institutions, to, college investment funds. There are so many massive players, so many whales that want exposure to Bitcoin, but it's not logistically, it doesn't make logistical sense almost to take a large position in Bitcoin, or it's not possible yet to do that. With an ETF, that would be possible. And for the sole reason, again, supply and demand economics, it will flood a whole lot of institutional big money capital into the asset class. Again, if there's more demand, if there's more money flowing into the asset, the price goes up. Okay, Bitcoin ETF looking very good. Again, BlackRock was the first one to really... BlackRock, the news of BlackRock, Mr. Fink getting into the Bitcoin ETF game. If BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, $7 to $8 trillion in AUM, which is insane. If they're backing a Bitcoin ETF, then it's almost guaranteed that it's going to get passed. If you have $7 trillion and you control that much power, because that's power, you're going to get this passed. Okay, so that's my take on the Bitcoin ETF. Let's close it out with the fun part, price action. Okay, so we'll kick it off with the short term and then close it out with the big price target of $51,000 on January 1st of 2024. In the short term, Bitcoin ain't looking too hot, right? We saw that sell-off. Zoom out a little bit there. We saw that sell-off on August 17th, okay? Big sell-off, been going sideways since. Got some head fakes right here. You can see this nice little head fake. We just got one yesterday, a couple days ago as well. And we're really going sideways, really holding this range. Bitcoin has spent a lot of time in this $25,000 to $27,000 range. Just over the course of Bitcoin's history, over the course of the past few years at least. And right now, it's definitely possible. I don't want to discount the fact that it is entirely possible that this red line of broken resistance becomes tested as new support. That's TA 101. It works vice versa as well. Okay, broken support becomes new resistance. Broken resistance becomes new support. It's entirely possible that, if the CPI report we get next week at the time of recording comes in hot, the equity markets, the S&P, the NASDAQ fall, it's entirely possible that Bitcoin comes down another. Let's get some price ranges going here. Price range. That Bitcoin does fall another, 15% or so over the next few weeks, over the next month at the time of recording once again. But that is not what I believe. I believe the CPI report, and if you're watching anytime beyond September 13th, you'll know whether I'm right or wrong about this. Let me know in the comments below. I think that CPI report is going to come cold. I think the inflation data we're getting is getting chillier with the weather. And I do think that Bitcoin breaks out to the upside. I think the first area of resistance I'm pretty damn certain about this, that will come to is the line, this orange line right here, of shorter term resistance. Okay, that would take us up about 6 to 7%, about to $27,500 if we see it around September 15th. If we can break above that, that is incredibly bullish. Okay, and again, as I said, previous resistance becomes new support. Red line. Green line right here, previous support becomes new resistance. This broken line of support that catalyzes sell-off in mid-August. If we can retest this while we coincide with the top end of Bitcoin's range, which I think is very possible, I do love those trend line intersections, that'll take us up about 20% back up to the top end of this range once again at $31,000. So I do think it's very, very possible that Bitcoin is sitting above $30,000 once again by early to mid-October. So I will say that much. 20% move for Bitcoin really isn't that much, again, especially with all of these positive catalysts that we just discussed. And if we can break back into this ascending channel that Bitcoin held for the most part of 2023, beautiful, beautiful ascending channel. If we're able to break back above, once again, this line of supports, will act as new resistance. If we can reclaim this long-term ascending channel right here, cyan line, green line, ascending channel, I do think it's possible that Bitcoin shoots up and over the course of the coming months, over the course of the fall, winter months, makes its way up to test the top line, conservative top line of resistance as well. This is what a lot of traders are going to be looking at right here. I'm not going to do that. I'm playing it safe. You want to front run the competition. And I'm looking at this line right here. I think that if Bitcoin is able to climb and test this line of resistance on the long-term ascending channel by January 1st of 2024 right there, that would take us to $51,229.09 on the dot. That's the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you want to ride the waves with me on a day-to-day basis, if you want to know how I'm trading my personal portfolio, Riot Blockchain, all the AI stocks, some biotech stocks that have actually been crushing it for us, that's the first link in the description of this video. And again, let me know in the comments what you think about Bitcoin, what you think. If there are any catalysts that you think I missed in this video, please share. And I hope you guys are ready for the ride. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.